We're good. Good to go.
We're
Anybody else
recording.
join? We'll greet them.
3:30.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me stop this for a second.
Sarah.
Hey, Chair Nagel, I'm handing it over to you.
Thank you very much. So at this point, we're going to look to see if there's any public comments on things that are not on the agenda.
Don't we do the pledge first?
Well,
I-
actually, establish on a quorum. You gotta establish a quorum.
Mhm.
Well, okay, so I don't do that public first. So let's
Oh,
establish.
sorry. You are correct. Chair Nagel, proceed.
Is that the appropriate thing first then? To talk for the public, ask the public if they've got any additions?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
So we're looking to see if there's anyone from the public who has any comments on items that are not on the agenda. Okay, if there are no comments, then we can start with establishing a quorum. So can you take the roll call, please? Bridget, do you do that or does Sarah do it?
Actually, you do it. So you will, yes.
All right, so that means I have to get my list so I can pronounce everybody's name. All right, Vice Chair Cohen.
Yes, here.
All right, Commissioner Lee.
Virtually present.
Commissioner Burkholz.
Buckholz?
Burkholz, right?
Yeah, here,
That's you, huh? All right, thank you.
not
dear.
Buttercup.
Mhm.
I still don't have my list. Commissioner
The CJ,
CJ?
he's not coming.
No.
Mm-mm.
Commissioner O'Reilly? All right, did I miss anybody?
No, no.
I don't think so.
So I think we've got a quorum, so we can go ahead
We
with
do?
our meeting.
Mhm.
All right. At this time, we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. Staff liaison, could you please put up the flag for us?
There you go.
Thank you, dear. All right. Jane, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance
Sure. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the
to-
flag
flag
of the United
States of
States
America
of America.
and to the
The
republic
republic
for which it stands,
stands
one nation, under God, indivisible,
visible.
with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So I look at my agenda here, and it looks like our public comment question is now then under the Pledge of Allegiance. So I guess we've got them listed twice here. So not having any public comments, we can move on to the minutes. Does anybody have any corrections or additions to the minutes from June?
I have two comments.
Okay. Commissioner Cohen?
On page 2, under number 3, the fiscal year 2021 work plan. Anyway, it's the 4th item down, which it starts with Commissioner Bazigi.
Right?
And I think the confusing part for me, which conflicts with the other comment I'm going to make, it said, would like to step into the slot vacated by Commissioner Yu. And that really wasn't accurate. He said that he would help recruit someone for the open position, but he never said, he's already in
Right.
mission. So that statement is not true.
he
So
would, he will help recruit.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think he says on page, the only other comment I have is then on page, the last page, Oh, well, actually, no, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, he said he would help recruit someone from the town of Los Altos Hills. That was my
Okay.
recollection.
Okay,
And then on the last page, under potential future agenda items, the second one under me, Commissioner Cohn, it says fall and winter senior document workshops. I think the way we would like it phrased would be fall and winter senior workshop topics. It's
okay,
the word documents should be deleted, and the word
Okay.
workshop should not be pluralized. It should be workshop, and then add the word topics at the end. I think that better reflects what I said.
okay.
That's it. Otherwise, I have no other comments. Thank you. And I move to approve.
Thank you. Do you have a second? Thank you for the
No.
second. So we will approve those minutes as noted. All right. So we've got item number 3, fall and winter senior workshop. Discuss fall and winter workshop ideas based on the evaluation of the spring workshops. We
So
have
I actually, hi, this is Sarah Robustelli, staff liaison for Los Altos Hills. And I actually have an update on some of that. But I have those items actually earmarked in the next report.
Yeah.
So item number 5, it is, I'm happy to, first just discuss those items. So based on the senior recommendations, we held a total of 2 partnered with a law office, and they were 2 legal webinars for seniors. The webinars were held and recorded live on the town's Vimeo, which it is also linked in item number 5 of your the staff reports today. And one was held in the spring, and the other one was just more recently held in the summer. And one was the essential documents for aging seniors. And again, these are all recorded, so they're available on online. And then the most recent one that was just held is called Planning Senior Care Options. And they overall, they did receive, I think roughly both 10 participants viewed live, and then we've shared the Vimeo, and that's also available on the Senior Commission website through the town. So those are available. However, that being said, the law offices are currently too busy to continue these classes in the fall and winter. But we did mention to them, they're still interested in working with us and providing these free seminars. However, we plan to circle back with them basically early next year for this spring and summer again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And in your packet, in agenda item 5, this summary can be found on page 2.
All right. So are you then, you do not need to revisit item number 5? You've just given us your report?
No, I have more to report.
more.
If you'd like me now to start on that. Okay. So for the town of Los Altos Hills, some of the upcoming events that we are holding, this first one is also with the city of Los Altos. So we encourage basically anyone to come out. It's to the Los Altos Hills versus Los Altos adult softball game. This will be taking place on Saturday, August 14th. Both teams currently have full rosters. So really, we're just encouraging anybody to come out if you're looking for an event.
Great.
And that is at 1, it will start at 1 p.m. at Prisma Park in Los Altos Hills. And there are links there in your packet for more information, but looking forward to a good game. And we'll see. Los Altos has taken the trophy twice. So out of the 2 times we played, so we'll see what happens this year. And then moving on, we have an upcoming drive-through shred event. This is limited to Los Altos Hills residents. It's happening Saturday, September 4th from 8 to 11. This has been popular. It's just a community service that is done. We are planning to move forward with our Los Altos Hills Hoedown, which will be taking place Saturday, September 11th. This is an all outdoor event and will be held at Westwind Community Barn. We have made some kind of like COVID modifications. So it's going to be shorter. The event will be taking place from 4 to 7. And we will not have any crafts at this event. So it's really going to be about food, live music, foods available for purchase. There's going to be a horse show at 4:30 and a dance caller will be there. So anybody is welcome. This is a public event and it's free to attend with food for purchase. And then kind of going into some of our classes is a link for some of our registrations, but I also wanted to touch on some of the classes that we've been holding, which are kind of senior related, which are Make Your Pool Your Gym. This was a free webinar that was hosted in July. And there's been 10 seniors, so that was relatively well attended for that. And then I'm going to skip these next 2 because we've already talked about them in regarding the law. And again, those links are available to you. And then moving on down to memoir writing, tell your story, discover your legacy. These are coming up. And so just making you aware of them. They are virtual and they are for open to the public. They are fee-based classes. And then there's a virtual organization consultant that we've partnered with, and that is also in your packet today. And I'll hand it over to Bridget. I will also, just as an aside, I will be going on maternity leave as of Friday. So I wanted to just let you all know, moving forward, I plan to, Chris Knopf, one of my colleagues, will be providing a written report, but I cannot, we're going to be so short-staffed, right? Our department is just the 2 of us, and I'm also having multiple kind of departments help with my position. So I am not positive. He's not going to be required to attend, but he will be giving you guys updates and keeping you apprised of what's going on in Los Altos Hills. And obviously, if he can attend, he will. So I am anticipating, either coming back in December or early January.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Commissioner Buchholz.
First of all, congrats.
Thank you.
Is this your first?
Yes, it is.
Exciting.
May it be as much fun as my children have been.
Ah,
Secondly, is the shredding capable of shredding medical records?
Yes, so everything is shred on site, and correct. They shred everything there, and if you need, actually, we've had one person request kind of like backup documentation that their items have been shredded, and they're able to supply a certificate as well. And it all is also green, it's recycled. So if I can send you some of that information as well if you're interested.
I am interested.
Okay.
So Sarah, did
Yeah.
I hear
Can
this-
I,
did I hear that this was limited to Los Altos Hills?
That's what it says.
Yes.
does that include Los Altos Hills representatives on the commission?
I will let you know if you show up, you will not be turned away. So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. That's nice.
I think this is a very valuable service that's
Yeah.
held. You know what? One time we had a realtor hosting one in Los Altos themselves. So Liaison Matheson, can we look into having something like that in Los Altos as well? Is that within your scope?
I don't, I'm not sure if that is in our scope or not.
Sarah,
We would have to look.
I can send you, Bridget, some of the information. It's been a very, I will be honest, it's been very well received in Los Altos Hills, and the costs are minimal. However, I think it's maybe more of staffing. I'm not sure how you guys are, but we have a public works person, typically myself and Chris. I will be out. So we're either going to kind of like readjust and have youth commissioners kind of do the intake, because we like to get all the data of how many boxes, welcome them. And, but it's actually been really, it's a pretty turnkey event that we've been in more of a community service. And I believe this is maybe the 5th time or 6th time we've done this. So I'm happy to provide any information you may need.
I just to be honest, just with everything that we have going on right now, that would be considered a new activity. And I just, at this moment, I don't want to commit to something just with everything else that we have. You could send me the information, but whenever you're talking about staffing in a new event that we haven't done before, we have a lot on our plate right now.
Sarah, when you get that information, Bridget, when you get that information, if you could forward it to maybe we can talk to a local organization that can make this happen, because it sounds like it's not as costly, it's more people oriented.
Yeah.
Sure, we have a lot of volunteers.
Right. It's just the coordination though.
Yeah.
One of the things I just wanted to mention, we got out of order a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
So what if you guys are okay with this? I'm going to have Cherry read the Los Altos information, and then the senior commission name topic, we can do that afterwards, because I think it would make more sense to do that.
Do I need to pause at some point to ask for public comment?
You should. How about we ask for public comment, and then I can put up the information for Cherry to go over.
Okay, so at this time, do we have anyone from the public who has a comment? Nope. Cherry, I think the floor will be yours. Welcome.
Cherry, I'm going to put this up for you.
Okay,
Just so you have it.
thank you very much. I appreciate
You
that.
bet. Of course. Okay.
Okay, so as you see, we are still virtual. And with that in mind, we're going forward with our fall session that starts September 7th and it ends December 18th. Of course, though, you can register in the next couple of weeks, August 16th. for residents and August 19th for non-residents. And we're looking at having folks go to the registration link for the classes. So our new registration software, Civic Rec, is now available. And we are encouraging on every call that we get or every interaction that we get for people to go online and try the new Civic Rec program out. It's really user-friendly, and I believe it would be of benefit to everyone to have their own account so that they can then plug into all of our activities, programs, and events. We're also, our staff, our team is going to be having an online Civic Rec registration event. And that's going to be happening on Thursday, August 19th. We're going to do that at 11 a.m. We're bringing in our volunteers who help us with Tech Tutor. We're also going to have our staff members there who actually facilitate the Civic Rec program so that we have firsthand questions answered significantly and clearly. So this is a free event, and we're very excited to have everyone come along. We're inviting you guys to come too, because again, it's great to have your own personal account on the Civic Rec program. And then we're going to have a wonderful end of summer virtual concert, and that's happening on August 26th, Thursday at 12 noon. It's going to be an afternoon of smooth jazz and pop music by a great musician, Michael Hatfield. And I know, Chris, you were there a couple of Christmases ago when Mike came. Yes, he's a one-man band. He's bringing a wonderful vocal artist, Pamela Rose, who's well known in the Bay Area, and it's going to serenade us and make us feel really good about the end of summer coming. And that concert is free. Again, you just give us a call and we'll send you the Zoom link. And as we know, we have our virtual recreation center. That's something that you can go online with. The address for that is right here in front of us with the logo of the www.losaltosca.gov recreation page, virtual recreation center, where what you can do is go in and sign up and get activities going for yourself and your family. We also want to keep everyone in mind of the COVID-19 resource links that we have so that we can stay in tune to the latest developments that the city manager and the Human Resources Department has put together that go along with Santa Clara County restrictions and guidelines. And then we also have our grand opening, the grand opening of the Los Altos Community Center. And we're looking at that taking place on Saturday, October 2nd at 2 p.m. And of course, more details will come. But if you have ideas about the grand opening and or are interested, which we will be calling you, dear commissioners, to reach out to Bridget for letting her know that you want to participate. And of course, we continue with our On the Move ride care program, which we do still have folks are starting to use more and more now. So we're pleased to say that it's up and running and people are calling about it and they're interested in what we have to offer. And as you see here, we have all kinds of information on how to be engaged with that program. And then there's the link that you can go to get yourself started with that. And so since that's an ongoing thing, I think we can continue with our announcements. So for more details about all of our programs, feel free to contact myself or my team, Anita, Sadna, Poonam, and then of course there's always Bridget. So thank you for your time, and it's great seeing everybody. And congratulations, Sarah.
Chair, I do have a question. On the increase in the rideshare program,
Yes.
are they calling the office for the rideshare?
Are they calling the, no, all they do is send us their, or we do have calls. We've had calls from children who are looking to get their parents rides to different doctor's appointments and things like that. So we've had an increase in calls for information. And
Great.
what we've had from that is more people who are now looking at using the ride care program.
That's very good to hear. I'd be interested in how they knew to call you folks.
That's a
They
good
just-
question. It's that our information is out there. We get all
Right.
kinds of calls. So I think it's because our information is out there.
Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Do you have any questions or comments? No? Thank you, Chair. I appreciate that. Very thorough. All right, so shall we go on to the next item? All right, so here we're going to discuss the question of, do we need to change the name title of our commission? Does anyone have any thoughts, comments on this?
I don't know. I've been thinking about names, and nothing lights any bulbs for me. I mean, you have words like older adult, elder, active seniors. Again, you have two distinct populations for whom we work to improve the city's resources. So I don't have anything that's better than the senior commission, is what it comes down to.
Yes, Commissioner Cohen?
I agree. I think there's a little confusion though, and I think maybe what brought this up is that we're calling our program 50s plus. And 50-year-old people do not consider themselves seniors.
All right.
So I think that, that we lowered the age of the programming. I think that might have caused some of the confusion. So, I mean, I'm happy with senior commission. It's just, it doesn't seem to include that younger group. If it does, and it probably should, then we should lower the age criterion for admission to the senior commission down to people in their 50s. Because they're not eliminated right now. You have to be 65 and above to be a commissioner. However, our charge is now going down to 50s plus. So I think there's just confusion. Maybe Bridget or Cherry have some comment about that. I don't know, but yeah.
Would
you know what I mean, Bill?
5 plus commission, would that meet needs as a title?
It's not catchy to me.
If I may, Chair Nagao, I believe this conversation had come up before. I think maybe at the last meeting we had, Commissioner Basigi had mentioned it, where commissions had discussed it and kind of talking about it, but then just nothing really happened. They weren't really able to think of a different name. And I do recall Commissioner Murray, who was, she's not on our commission anymore. I think she was younger than 60, to be on the commission. And
Wasn't Commissioner Yu younger than 50?
yeah, so I don't think that age of 65 is, I think it's 55, but
Can I just make a comment? I don't think our commission needs to be consist of 50 or 65 and older. I think having younger people who are looking out for the seniors is a good thing. But I think it's the people who we are reaching out in order to participate in the activities or to look out for their welfare. That's where that's supposed to come into play. Anybody else?
I move to table this discussion.
Okay, we'll bring it up in September.
Jerry had something to say.
If I may,
Yes, Trey.
being out there in the community and hearing the different responses, we just got a message just today that the adult 50 plus program name is welcome and it's progressive, and that let go of the senior name. So I just thought I'd add that. And then to look at the idea of progressive adults, or adults on the move, or no, let me keep it simpler. Making it mature adult commission or progressive adult commission, something like that. That way, just in case things do change, because the society is changing in regards to how we're addressing maturing. And so we would be keeping up with that if we looked at this name that we're now calling it to incorporate it so that it encompasses all the 50 and up ages. So that's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so shall we table it? Are we still going to mull it over?
I second the motion to table.
Okay, so be it. All right, do we have any public comments on this? No? So Sarah, was there anything else that you'd left off that you wanted to add now that you're item number 5?
No, I think I went through all of my items. So
There
thank
you go. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna miss you, but enjoy
you.
your
Likewise. I'll be back.
good. All good. All right. So commission reports and comments.
I
Do we
guess
have-
Tony and I, will you, the two ladies, have commission reports? Or do you want us to
Well, I don't think Commissioner Cohen and I have done anything more on our task because everything is closed down. So it's pretty much status quo. So if you gentlemen would carry on, that'd be great.
Well, much of what the report is has already been distributed.
Yeah.
It comes down to that age-friendly cities are supposed to recertify every 5 years. And so we're 3 years in arrears. What has happened is that they want action plans for what we're going to do rather than simply intentions, so that we're held more accountable. And so having Annabelle here to guide us seems to me like a necessary process. The question that I raise is, what can we as senior commissioners or over 50s commissioners or whatever you want to, I'm definitely in the senior range. What can we do? I personally would like to work with the CAFE, Center for Age-Friendly Excellence, which is title of the organization, because I want to learn more about how this works. The idea of getting the information about current unmet needs with focus groups, I think is wonderful. I also know that I don't know feces from fettuccine about focus groups.
Right.
So we need skilled people, because it really does require getting a person who can both ask the questions and go follow-up questions. And then we need recorders. So I can see possibly that we commissioners might wind up taking shorthand. It's going to be recorded at any event, but the important things that stick out need to be highlighted. And perhaps the things that I personally think are needed are not ones that other people think are needed. So
Will that data become apparent once the focus groups happen?
the way that they do it, the focus groups, and we will be nominating are asking people if they would, be on this, both the hills and the flatlands. And they transcribe the event.
Mhm,
They have the facility, they have the word processing, the
mhm.
speech recognition software to do that. The critical points, however, are going to be visible, audible during the event of the focus group. So I think we will know kind of ahead of time what are the headliners that are unmet needs. I've worked with Annabelle before, and she is so easy to work with. I don't know at all what 20 grand, let's see, it's
Three.
23, is it?
Yeah,
Yes. Agree.
23 and change.
I don't know if that's a big number or a small number.
I think it's small.
Tony, you had mentioned also that that was a small number.
Because the data analysis takes
That does sound small.
hours to do. I mean, we don't want to do a half and half job. We want it to really have substance, and choosing the focus group, stratifying the sample so we get people from all areas. And I do want to clarify, I think this is a city of Los Altos thing only. The town of Los Altos Hills is not a part of this. That's my understanding. Is that true?
Oh, Liaison Masterson, sorry.
If I may, just on this particular topic of the age-friendly programs, we are in the early stages. But, I know in the past, there were different things that had happened, but I know both Cherry and we haven't even had a chance to set up a meeting to talk with Annabelle, like really. So I think the first thing that we would need to do is set up a time to talk with her, because regretfully right now we are dealing with some different things, about the community center, and Annabelle is very interested in working with us, and I know that Cherry is too, but I think we need to meet with her first and then look at how we can work with the commission, because I know both Commissioner Buchholz and Commissioner Lee are very excited, but we do need to digest this information a little bit, and some things that other cities have done may not necessarily be the same things that we're gonna do. And if Cherry, if I've misspoken, or if there's something that you wanted to add, feel free.
Oh, no, you're right on point. We're in the process now of doing so many things in regards to the new community center and getting our program back up live again. It's a good thing, in my opinion, to take each thing so that we can put our full attention on it so that it'll be much more successful.
So do you think, let me interject, do you think there's any way that between you, Bridget, and Cherry could say, I know we're going to open or have the grand opening in October. Can you put a time element to it when you'll be able to put that on your agenda?
In terms of the age-friendly piece?
Right.
I don't want to put a time on that. I know Cherry has even said with programming that she has done, some of it is covering the age-friendly, but this is a different area that we really need to check into. And I just don't want to give a specific date and then, someone's, well, you said it was going to be October 10th. With everything going on right now,
Yeah.
I don't have an exact date, but we know it is important.
I think that one, honoring the staff bandwidths is sine qua non of doing this. My sense, however, in talking with Annabelle, was that she really was going to have her staff do the vast majority of it. The only way that you would be confident of how much is going to be asked of you would be to speak with her. So does your bandwidth admit of speaking with her before the opening? Like for
Yes,
minutes?
yes. And if I may, actually, Cherry and I have, that's what we're going to be talking about, is when can we reach out with Annabelle. So we just, Cherry and I haven't had a chance due to working on like moving into the community center. So we already had a discussion about that. So we will definitely have more details to follow.
Tony?
Commissioner Cohen?
So
Tony wanted to go. Go ahead, Tony.
Tony, please go ahead, Tony.
Bridget, we want to be very respectful of your time. When we discussed the entire agenda with Annabelle, one of the things that we did ask her to do was to place as much of the legwork as possible on myself. So we're on the hook for that. And very much asked her to minimize the burden on you. So if there's something we can do to change a plan that would help further reduce that burden, please let us.
That's why it's so important for us to know what is your day job and how far into the night does it extend. So
Sometimes 10 o'clock.
we don't know.
Stuff going on. We know.
And so as far as I'm concerned, we are definitely a team of all of us, and every member of the team counts.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody else, if any one of us, even as volunteers, is having a problem, then that needs to be addressed. And certainly staff who's obligated to countless masters,
Right.
that needs to be respected. So the only way I can imagine you being reassured is talking with Annabelle directly.
Right. That is the plan.
All right, great.
Can I tell her that to expect a call to set up a short conversation? Or do you do that by yourselves, or when?
Yes, I don't think that Commissioner Buckholz that's necessary. I appreciate that, but Cherry and I actually have weekly meetings. In fact, we have one tomorrow. So that was one of the items on our agenda, is to talk with her. It's just, there are a few things that are taking an immediate, I don't want to say, I think everything is important, but just, you know, the community center is right here. We need to pack. We need to look at all those different things to get ready for the fall. So we will be discussing that tomorrow, and then we'll reach out to Annabelle.
Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate
Chair,
it.
Thank you.
Chair, may I speak to this item, please?
Certainly.
Good afternoon, everyone. Donna Legge, Recreation Community Services Director. We're very excited about the next steps in this process, but I want to make it clear that this is going to be a staff-driven process. And so, as Bridget and Cherry have both indicated, there are other priorities right now related to the community center, but we will initiate a meeting first at Cafe, and we will review it. We also need to run it by our city attorney, and we also have to look at our budget indications. This was not budgeted, and with the rollout of transition from a heavily reduced budget during COVID, we have to be very conservative. And so we will work with the subcommittee and the commission as a whole before we go to city council. But we just respectfully request that the staff take the time to be careful and cautious as we look at the MOU and working with the cafe staff. And then we'll work with the subcommittee, and then we'll come back to the commission as a whole. So once we've had a chance to have a dialogue with cafe and work out, what it really might look like, then we'll set up a meeting with the subcommittee. So hopefully that helps everybody in terms of timeline.
We appreciate your input on that. So thank you.
Thank you for clarifying. It just makes it so much easier for Tony and me to have a sense of the rhythm of things. Is there any usefulness, like in the September commission meeting, to go on record, the senior commissioners going on record as thinking that this is a valuable thing to do? Does that carry any advantage, Donna, to you and the other staff?
Where it will be very valuable is once staff has reviewed it and we present to the commission staff's recommendation, and then you make comments and we receive feedback based on our work first. So the senior commission is advisory, right? So let us do the work first and do what we think is best, and then take your input. Now, this could mean that when it gets finalized, there could be two different recommendations and they may not line up, but I have a feeling they will line up. But all we're asking is that you let us take a look at it first.
It seems to me that it's going to take you, given the other priorities, certainly into November before you're able to do all this. Is that a reasonable estimate of time without any expectation of holding you to it?
I can't tell you. It's just like Bridget said. Our opening day for the grand opening is October 2nd. Obviously, we can multitask. We can do things simultaneously, for sure. So
only two hands, though. You can't juggle 17 balls.
I am not recommending that you look at it first and then let us see it. I'm asking respectfully that the city staff review it first. And I'm sorry it is not as quickly as you would like, but that is what we're recommending.
Understood. Yes, Commissioner Cohen?
Also, this item is not on the agenda to be discussed. We're talking about report outs. And so if you want to talk about it, we need to put it on the agenda.
I'd like to add it to, we're not at that section yet, but I would like to add this on the agenda for next time. And I was thinking of kind of a soft date, thinking that you'd have one meeting with Annabelle at some point this fall, but a soft opening date of like just beginning on the work wouldn't be till January-ish, maybe late January. So that's just a soft date that I had in mind. I don't think it's reasonable that that the staff could do it before that. The other thing I want to mention and suggest is that we reach out to the community foundation, the Los Altos Community Foundation, to fund the project for us.
They did that with the first one.
Right. So if we could get the funding, then it wouldn't be a burden to the city. And there's another foundation, I think, that helps fund some projects for us. Forget the name.
Also, if you remember, the Legacies had some money available at one time for bocce ball, and maybe this is something that might be of interest.
Right. One or the other or both, and then we could take that burden off the city council budget, because I know the money's so tight now. So those are just my suggestions.
So Donna, would that be up to one of us to reach out to these organizations? No. Okay.
Not yet.
Thank you.
No, and even if it was time, it's staff's responsibility, not the commission. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I hope you understand that you've given us the knowledge, the information that allows us to support you, Jerry, and you, Bridget, so to make this a useful activity. My enthusiasm is not deciding, it is the team effort.
We love it. We love your enthusiasm.
We appreciate it.
It's all
we
about
really do.
timing.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
strategy is timing.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Shall
you.
we move on, or is there anything more that we need to discuss on this topic? We're good? All right. Any other potential future agenda items?
I'd like this item added to the next agenda
Okay, duly noted.
for discussion.
All right, do we have a motion for adjournment? Or do we have any public comment before I go for a motion for adjournment? No? We have a motion?
I so move.
I
Thank-
second.
All right. So said. We
Thank
good?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all the
All right.
input.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, Sarah. We'll be thinking about
Good.
it.
Is it a boy or
Bye.
a girl?
Sarah.
Bye. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know if it's a boy or a girl?
No, actually, we're waiting.
Yay.